So the words that they were singing on this video
Okay.
are "I release control. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that surrounds me."
I'm really happy that I got to see the image of your son
Mm.
and your friend before I had a few days before I'd seen that, because that image is really a totem for me to restore.
So,
Um,
if evolution requires a little friction, at least in this realm, at least in the third dimensional reality that I'm used to, evolution requires friction. I'm open to other possibilities. Just throwing
mhm.
that out there. But that friction, while one could say that that friction is evil, or that friction is diabolical, or that friction is the unconscious ego, ultimately that friction also comes from God, divinity, source,
Mhm.
something. So, so I don't necessarily think that that's where we get into like why I try to stay in a place of neutrality instead of getting like freaked the fuck out.
Sure.
Is that there really is no good nor bad. I mean, that's a really privileged thing to say.
Yeah.
However, there is not necessarily a good or bad. There's because everything comes from the same source.
Yeah.
But there is maybe, at least in this third dimensional reality, a friction that's necessary for evolutionary growth. I personally, and you have too, have experienced a shit ton of friction in my personal life, like a lot of friction.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people have experienced a lot of friction. My friction is not necessarily any greater than anybody else's friction, but
Okay.
it has, for me, led to a lot of growth, a lot of personal growth. I feel like I have created a reality that is beyond anything I could have dreamed of in previous lifetimes, previous iterations of this life.
Mm.
Um, so I'm grateful for that friction. So I think
Uh,
collectively humans are going through a period of intense friction, and it's hellacious to be in the middle of it.
yeah.
I think one key, if I were to name a key, is just total openness to all possibility.
Mm.
Um, so so I can believe and disbelieve at the same time because I'm just open to all the possibilities.
Mm.
And um, yeah, so that allows you, that basically gives permission to I don't know, your higher self, divinity, whatever, to come in if you are open to all the possibilities. If you're saying like, versus like, no, there's no journal article about channeling, so I can't possibly believe that. Just being like, well, what if it is true? What if it's possible that there is this, this beautiful, loving cosmic force that could move through me for the betterment of humanity and the planet? Well, that would be neat. I'm just gonna like act as if that's true for a hot minute and see what happens.
But yeah, there's. I mean, there's things that are that can't be unseen. That's all I gotta say.
I'm curious because I want to know what my peeps are going through. Like, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
curious. Like that's part of, like, that's like I said earlier on in the conversation. Like I kind of keep my eyes on it in as much of a sort of non-attached way. I keep my eyes on things so that I can process it, um, and be available for whatever processing anyone else needs to do around whatever's happening in the world. And also, I think that being able to stand and look at darkness and
Mm.
remain neutral and transmute it is an important skill to have.
Ah, dude, that is so solid.
So, what do you think what can one do with that skill?
Anything,
Yeah,
fucking yeah,
you're bulletproof.
yeah.